Hello and welcome to Shapes 2. If you're used to my Timberborn videos, don't worry, I'm still going to be finishing my episode for Whitewater, hopefully starting update 6 soon. But in the meantime, I saw that Shapes 2 was released, and I am a sucker for factory games, so I wanted to check it out. In this video, we're going to be unlocking the Operator Certification, which is the first 3 milestones, and more or less introduces you to the core concepts of the game and unlocks the full experience. The gist of the game is that we make shapes, we then take these shapes and chuck them in a giant vortex in the center of the map. Oh, do I have to agree to this? I will strive for efficiency and build no spaghetti factory. I make no such promise. It looks like I can't progress until I agree, so we're gonna start the game with a lie. So what do we got here? Oh, we got a lot of space. So I guess we can mine. I'm not sure how you know this mines, but maybe that's what these symbols mean. Drag, and can give an anchor with C, so you can keep on dragging. What if there's gaps? Do they just fly over? Let's see. Yeah, they just get yeeted right over the edge there. Okay. It's nice not having to pay for any of this stuff. Okay, so that's the first step. I guess these are the most basic shapes you can get. Now what's up? Place 3 half destroyers to cut shapes in half. Required buildings for a fully saturated belt. I mean, that's kind of handy that they have it listed there. And that's kind of nice compared to Factorio. Things just kind of work. You don't have to make all the arms and everything. So what else? What's next? Mine some squares? Why not? It is nice that everything is free. There's no ramp up. It's just purely factory organization. Place a rotator between half destroyers to produce quarters. Oh, I see. So they want us to break things up even more. We're going to rotate them and then cut them in half again. So this goes in, gets rotated in that direction, then sliced in half again. What happens to the slice that you leave off? I guess it just gets vaporized? Yeah, it just goes away. Oh, I forgot. They want me to cut these in half now, too. Easy enough. I have a feeling that this game is going to ramp up in difficulty pretty quickly. Let's see. What is our reward? Unlock stacker and second floor. Yes, this is going to ramp up in difficulty. So what is a stacker? Does it allow you to put one thing on top of the other, I take it? Stacker and second floor. You're rewarded a stacker and second floor, allowing you to stack shapes and build multi-layer factories. Oh, interesting. Okay, so your second layer gets smaller than the other, or you can merge them if they're on the opposite side. Okay, good to know. And sometimes they can fall through. Tricky. Okay, what are they gonna have me do with this? Let's combine circles and squares. Well, first let's get this going. So this is an easy one. We just have to do the rotation and cut. That'll get rid of this little tiny square. And I think, as it said, it doesn't matter what corner it's rotated, so it should accept these. Is that true? Yeah, perfect. Okay, let's go. I think this is squares and this is circles, so why don't we go create the mines over here? So let's see, circles goes on top of squares. So squares are going to be the base. Oh, look at this, we're already starting the spaghetti. Have I already broken my promise? So stacker. Stackers are slow, so always produce multiple of them. Good to know. So how does it work? So circle needs to go on top. Now, how is this circle supposed to get up there? Connect floors by pressing E and Q, like that. Oh, I see. Can I just make multiple of these? So how can I split multiple off? Let's say if this line went like that, there must be some way to like split, like this splits. I guess like that. So you have to split it first on one level. Replicate that on all sides. And then after that, we can just get these pulled off. Okay, it's a little bit of a pain to do that, but it kind of worked. Research points are rewarded for completing side tasks. Open the task overview. And the tasks you want to work on, making them always visible. Oh, I see. And I'm sure these go into here for upgrades. Oh, and it looks like now they want... What is this? A square stacked on a square? I guess this is where the yeeting comes in. So if I wanted to go underneath, say in Factorio, I can't do that here. You know, it's probably easier, now that I think about it. Could I just make the entire line go up? Oh yeah, that would have been so much easier. That's apparently the way to do it. Instead of having to do each of these ones going up, I should have just brought it up once. And let's see, we can break that off and replace it with our new stacked. Is that the shape we want? 2 squares on top of each other? I think so. Checks out. Let's see, what's next? 2 squares and 2 circles stacked on top of each other. Let's do the 2 squares first. The mine's running. Leave a little space because I think we're gonna have to do this multiple times. So we'll get some stackers, stack the other ones, and throw them in. And I'd say the hardest part for me in this game is the second story. Is that stacking as it should? Square and square? Sure. And then we'll do the same for the circles, since that seems to be pretty quick. I take it these are done now, so I don't really need these anymore. Okay, stack stuff is going. The stacked squares, we're still processing that. Now we need another combination of circles and squares, and they need to be stacked. I think I just need to split these. Yeah, and it doesn't matter the rotation, so I think all I need to do, it's a fairly easy one. Just cut that. Yeah, that should match that shape. Perfect. Next task, obtain 2 research points by completing side tasks. We got that going on, that's fine. There's 1 side task done. What other ones we have in here? Well, pyramid. I guess this is an easy follow-up. We can do that one. Let's see. We don't need this anymore. To modify this, I think we would just need to move this into yet another stacker. So if we went in like that, these just fed in. And if we had basically this line here, we would just need to feed in another run of squares. If we just fed this in and we'll just shuffle the lines over. And if everything maps out, I think that should make the pyramid. Let's see. It's gonna squish it on top. There we go, that looks like a pyramid. What else do we have now? We have this thing. Well, also easy. It just looks like 2 squares and a corner. So we can just delete all of this. And I think we still need a stacker, but we're gonna have to rotate one of these. So what orientation? They're both in the bottom. It needs to be in the opposite. So if we were to rotate these after they get processed, where would they be relative to everything? I think I need to rotate them 1 more. So I want them all the way. Actually, what I could do, if I was being lazy, can I swap what direction this rotates? It's clockwise, I want counterclockwise. Oh, what is that, locked? Okay, well, we're not doing that then. So now what we can do is then stack these guys. Oh, is there any, oh, look at that. Control Z undoes. It just saved me a ton of time. So I think this one should be fine. It's not rotated in the correct orientation, but is it good enough? Yes, it is. Okay, so how do I get those side tasks? I finished the two pin tasks. Oh, now I just have to push unlock. Use the points to unlock an upgrade, because these are different phases of upgrade. So belts, what's level 2 belts do? I think it just increases the speed of things. Belts seem to be a slow one, so let's do that one first. What's next? We finish the pyramid. What, an even bigger pyramid for 4 points? That seems like an easy win too. Let's do this one. We've got the square and the circle. I think this just needs to be cut in half again, which is just going to be a rotation and then another cut. That takes care of that one. For pin tasks, we have yet another round of pyramid stacking. I need more squares. I guess I have squares here. We're gonna make spaghetti. Okay, we're gonna make spaghetti. Guess I can do that. I feel so bad because it takes so much space. Okay, those squares will keep that running, and then we can use this one for the super duper stacking pyramid. Another run this way, another set of stackers, and then another run up to stack everything. And now we just need to do all the messy work of getting these conveyor belts run in. And there's our 4-high pyramid. Okay, that's got 2 of these going. I wonder if we could actually do some of the others. The stack circles cut in half. Well, that is also easy. And the other one is stack squares cut in half, which we had here before we disassembled for this other part. Kind of lacking squares. Squares need to be used for a lot. Maybe when we finish this pyramid, we can take it apart. Because we'd have 2 of the stacked squares and we could just rotate and cut it. I think that's what we'll do. Any other pin tasks we can do in the meantime? Oh, I can see these start getting a lot more complicated. The layering really makes this the hardest part, I think. So like blueprints, This looks interesting. This is probably just going to be an easy one to do once you get the base. It's just stacking circles. This one, again, you can kind of see the progression. You make the shape, you cut it in half, add a circle, cut it in half again. So they all do kind of build on top of each other. I think because of that, I'm kind of attempting this in the wrong order. Like, I think what I should be doing is doubling down on one of these, just like doubling the production to do it very quickly. Because me doing each of these in parallel, I have to like build on the factories, and I just don't have enough resources to do that. Well, I've got 2 more research points. Let's improve the speed of, I think stacking is the slow one right now. Pyramid's done. Is there anything I have to do after that? No. Okay, so I can repurpose that, I think, for this production. The halves with halves. So what we're gonna do is take off those layers there, which will give us these halves. And I think from here, then we just need to cut them in half. No, not rotate, cut. There we go. That's progressing nicely. Can I see what happens after these in the milestones? Okay, here we go. I think it might start a different type of shape instead of building on top of each other. Ooh, and unlocks blueprints. I'm liking that. Blueprints are always a good one. Well, let's just speed that up then. That seems to be the one that's taking a long time, is this guy. Can I cut and paste that? No. Of course not. That's going to be blueprints. But I need squares and circles. We got circles here, so this should be relatively easy to duplicate. And these guys, we don't need... We can splice into some of these squares now. This can go back to just being these 2. And I think I can actually make this a lot more, compressed compared to what I was doing before. So let's see this. I'm gonna delete all of these. We need a lot of stackers going in. We got circles coming in on one direction. We'll take the squares on the other one. So then if I were to replicate this one on the other side, connect the squares. And then this one is just gonna need to be cut. And it has to jump over that. That is, not having a compact way to get things over is kind of a pain. I mean, I guess I could go up and then down. Yeah. Okay, that is kind of compact. What do we have to do? Cut, rotate, cut again. Oh, did I get that mixed up? What do I got here? I've got a square on top of a circle. Oh, damn, I'm looking for a circle on top of a square. Okay, we'll just delete all these inputs. At least I can just send them into the void. I don't have to care about sending the bad ones anywhere. There, this should fix it. Okay, let's see. What is our next milestone that we've unlocked? Blueprints. Oh, I like this. You can now copy and paste parts of your factory, which would have been really useful. Select an area with a shift click, then press Ctrl-C to copy it. Okay, clicky, clicky, clicky. Oh, that's nice. And then I can probably just bolt delete. Well, what do we got to build now? Do they build on top of each other? So we have to get this shape first, and then we're basically stacking on top of a square, and then stacking the other thing on top. So first step is going to be to make whatever this oddball shape is. I don't think anything else is actually being used right now. None of these are being built on top of anything else, except for this guy could potentially be a rotate it and cut. That's another free easy win we could do. I'll get this guy going in. Prioritize milestones first. We are kind of prioritizing the milestone shapes first and doing the side tasks when they're being delivered. Okay. I think I just got told off by the game for not doing my job. So this one is a circle and this odd square shape. And we don't need any of this stuff anymore. So we'll just delete it all and give us a blank canvas. So this shape, this is a little odd one. Because I know how to get a quarter, and I know how to get another quarter. And then I could drop them on top of each other. Okay then, let's make the first corner of this factory then. So I think I'm going to get one of the corners of the squares. Already cut something in half, and we know that's going to take 3 inputs. And then we're going to rotate it, and then cut it in half again. And that's going to give us one of those squares. And there's that preview. It shows us that's what's going to stick out at the end. And we need to do this twice. So I'll copy paste it. Throw down the next one, and it'll have to be rotated twice. And now we've got all of that stuck where we want it. And I think this needs to be stacked. So we'll take 6 stackers. This will come in this direction, and that will come in that direction. And that should give us this kind of shape. And if we're going to do this, we're going to do it at scale, because I've still got more squares there. So we're going to copy all of this and just do it again. So that should double our production. We've got basically those two. And we have circles over here, and it's basically the exact same operation now that I think of it. So instead of doing this all over again, I think what I'm gonna do is go over here and copy this, and then can I rotate it? There must be a way to rotate this. Yeah, look at that. Okay, so that we could just rotate these two. We'll use up all the space we can, so like that. Place anyway. Excellent. Okay, so now we've got the crisscross circle, and this gives us the crisscross squares, and now we're just going to merge them. So we're going to have 2 runs of stackers. One run's going to go in this way, and I think we just need to rotate them in the right direction. The circle's in the right place. These guys, I think, have to be rotated. We're going to launch those things. Copy that one. And more or less do the exact same thing. And then this one I think just has to be launched over that edge. Can it launch with that? Let's find out. I was thinking it was going to collide. Is this going to launch it okay? Can. It doesn't care about collision. Oh, here's our first piece. Is it going to accept it? Perfect. Oh, and that milestone completed. What does it want? It wants 2 of those now? Well, we've got the power of copy-paste, so that shouldn't be too hard. I should have rotated it the other way, just to make space for everything. Because I barely have enough space to launch all this stuff. Actually, yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. We're gonna take this, copy it, rotate it, delete all of that, get everything connected back up again, and then one of these has to be rotated twice. Then it's gonna be stacked, and then it's gonna be dropped in. Okay. Takes a little bit of getting used to, but with copy paste and bulk delete, this suddenly makes the game, it kind of changes the game. Like, I think copy paste has to just be like a core element of how you're using this game. The shape has been completed. Okay, so what is the next thing? We're just gonna take what we did and stacked it on top of a square. Okay, that is really easy. So these aren't used anymore. We're gonna have 2 runs of squares coming in, so let's see, we got 6 squares. Take these guys, will be kind of out of the way. Then we're gonna have 2 runs that are gonna come in and push the ultimate stuff in. The squares have to go first. Squares are gonna go in this way. And then these circle things are gonna be layered on top. And I don't think it matters, orientation doesn't matter for this. Let's try that mirroring. So I'm gonna copy that, mirror it, connect everything else. And then we can just launch this one over here. We're gonna launch it there. And it's pointing out that the next thing we're gonna need is this thing for milestone, which is actually pretty handy because I think this run right here is gonna be the end of the line for its pin task. In which case, really, this is just this simplified, just without the extra stacking. So all I need to do is basically get rid of the stacking, and then everything else will be fine. And I could just reroute it. Because I have a feeling if we look at the milestones, they're going to be connected somehow, aren't they? Yeah, I'm just going to put that and stack it on top of it. Before I even need to get there, this one should be done pretty soon. And I'm already using my other circles, so I can't really pull in those. I think I just got to wait it out. Is there anything in here that is a bottleneck? Maybe these rotating things are a little bit of a bottleneck. That also means this is a bottleneck over here. Yeah, because this one is arriving later than that one. Okay, note to self, rotating is slow. Not perfect, but it's looking closer to a full belt now. Yeah, you can see it coming in now. So that's going to increase our production for everything. Now produce the next shape. Okay, I think this is like the final shape in this milestone, but we're kind of blocked on this one first. Because I think this one is basically, they have you unlock this half circle one, and then it gets layered on top of this one. So these guys, we don't need them to be made anymore. They're eventually going to come over here and they're going to get stacked as soon as these guys finish. So how many more do we need of this? 20 shapes? We may have 20 shapes already on the conveyor belt. And Done. Okay, so we don't need this anymore, but we're gonna end up with something very similar. So to get this shape, what we're gonna need is we're gonna cut, rotate, cut again, and that'll give us one corner. And we're gonna do that for the second corner, except the second corner is gonna be rotated twice. All of these are then gonna get stacked. And order doesn't matter for which one goes in first, so that one's gonna go in there. This one needs to go to the second floor, and that gives us our shape. And then because we have 2 milestones to do, what I'm gonna do is just duplicate this. So I'm gonna take this, copy it, mirror it on the other axis. This guy can go in here for now, and so can this guy. This is nice. I really like that preview. It's showing when you hover over something what's on the line. So that one's going. Now let's take a look at this orientation. This right here, I think it just needs this thing stacked on top. And this shape is already in that perfect shape that we've got. So let's prime this to go. We're gonna get 6 of those going across. The bottom one is gonna be whatever that is. And then the top level is gonna be this thing. We're just gonna replicate that. And then the output of both of these are gonna, I think, is gonna be our final shape. So all we need to do is wait for this final count to get to 320. That's done. And then we can redirect this output over to the other one. So let's see. Was that line gonna work? Does that shape look like what we're expecting? Oh yeah, I think this is slightly off. I think one of these needs to be rotated ever so slightly. Let's pause for a second. So which one of these do I have to rotate? Yeah, that looks good. It's just ever so slightly rotate. I wanted the circle where the squares are. And I think this just needs to be rotated, but I think it should still be accepted. And I know from before I'm gonna need more rotations. You gonna take this vortex of doom? It is. Okay. In which case, we can just connect this other line over to here and we'll be good to go. And this thing is also gonna have that same problem with the rotation. I could upgrade my belts, these cutters and swappers. I think these are promising. 180-degree rotator, so I don't need to stack them. We'll see. I'm gonna hold off for one of these. Cutter or swapper is one of the ones I want, but I don't know which one I'm gonna want until I get kind of my next milestone. It's a little bit of a spaghetti factory, but I think we did not too bad. And now we just need to wait for it to complete. And I think we've done fairly good for ourselves here. We've used most of the mines altogether for this. And we're looking at 2 conveyor belts at full throughput. So overall, a very interesting game. I'm liking how everything is cheap to build. There's no cost to rebuild everything else. Copy paste is quick, introduced very early in the game. My only complaint, and I know they're probably going to unlock this, is I want more space to play with. I feel kind of constrained, but just zooming out, I can see that they have a ton of space here. So I'm looking forward to unlocking the rest of the game to be able to play here. Because I'm guessing this is all new shapes that you can mine. This is a really odd one. Guessing that this is going to be part of the game, like mining colors, combining different things, probably some logistics to ship things, which I think would be pretty cool. How far does this go? I'm guessing infinite. It keeps going. And here come our final 10 pieces. And that's it. That is milestone 3. Unlock space platforms. Oh, interesting. Okay, so this is how you connect between things. And I think with that, that unlocks our main factory. Well, first time playing, I think I'm going to unlock the normal factory. That'd be a good starting point. With that, that is going to do it for this first episode. Definitely, as I said, an interesting game. Lots of building in here. I do like the fact that very quick to tinker around and build with. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you'd like to see more of Shapez 2, be sure to let me know in the comments below.